Good morning. This is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. Seeing some mostly cloudy to overcast conditions around the area with a few light rain showers that have passed through the area this morning, and that's kind of what we can expect as we move through our day today, with periods of some light rain pushing through, otherwise just overcast conditions. And we'll see some fairly seasonable temperatures, and then cold temperatures move in as we get into the weekend. Take a look at the current surface analysis. We have this area of low pressure off the Carolina coast. It's starting to come together and develop a bit. Not expecting it to deepen too strong, but that will come together and track just off the coast. That's going to funnel in some of that moisture we see with some of the shower activity, along with some creeping in from the west. And as that low tracks off to the northeast, it's going to help pull in some of that colder air as we go into the weekend, and the upper level trough digs in over the region. Take a look at the current weather. Few clouds at 1,500 feet, broken deck at 6,500, 9,000, and 25,000. Seeing the winds out of the north at 7 knots, temperature at 42 degrees, and our relative humidity is at 89%. Look at the local radar here. We could see just some light showers, not currently anything directly overhead, a bit more off the coast, tracking off to the northeast. We do have some off to the west and southwest that we can see tracking towards our area. So again, mainly cloudy conditions through the day with periods of some like on and off like rain showers. If we look at the current visible satellite as well as the composite radar, we can see some of that shower activity itself to the southwest as well as off the coast, but plenty of clouds around the area, and then we'll see some breaks in those clouds as we get behind this frontal line here that will be moving through as we get later into the evening time frame. If we look at the high-res model, see how things could play out today. A bit overdoing some of the precip with the model here, but it kind of tells the same story. We'll see cloudy conditions around, and then periods of some light rain mixed in, and that will continue as we go through working hours today as well as into the first part of the evening. We see that low tracking off to the northeast, well off the coast, but it's going to tighten up the pressure gradient as we get into the evening, starting to see some slightly breezy conditions, and then we'll see those thickness values lowering as we go into the evening as well. That's going to bring those cooler temperatures creeping into the area, and as we get past the midnight time frame, we should see this precip activity start to come to an end. We could see a few flurries up to points north on the Delmarva Peninsula here, but overall I should see just rain here at Wallops, and then again that ends right around midnight, and then thickness values continue to fall, and we'll see some even gustier winds as we get past that midnight time frame. So as we move into the day on Saturday, again, gustier winds start to pick up. Thickness values continue to lower, looking at very chilly conditions as we move through Saturday, and breezy conditions as well. Good chance of, likely chance of seeing a wind advisory as we move through the daytime hours. And we'll keep slightly breezy conditions as we go into the evening, with very chilly and cold conditions continuing. And that continues as we get into Sunday. We'll start to see the pressure field loosen up a bit as we get into Sunday, and that will be loosening up those higher winds as we go through the day on Sunday, but still looking at very chilly and cold conditions as we move through the remainder of the weekend. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we do keep an orange risk for precip as we move through the entire day until about midnight this evening, and a yellow risk for potential reduced ceilings with that shower activity. Again, expecting mainly just cloudy weather, and then periods of some light rain showers pushing through the area. We'll likely see our ceilings dropping down to 3,000 feet, possibly at times seeing that ceiling down around 1,000 feet to 1,500 feet, potentially with any shower activity or overcast deck that lowers with that low-level moisture. Otherwise, see a high temperature around 48 degrees, winds generally out of the north, becoming more north-northwesterly as we get into the later part of the afternoon, and that's when we'll start to see those winds picking up a bit, 9 to 14 knots. And as we get later in the evening, we'll start to see gusts up around 19 to 20 knots. And as we get behind that rain activity, we'll start to see those clouds break, but we'll continue to see some low-level clouds in that 2,000 to 3,000 foot level, and we'll see those winds picking up as those clouds break. I see northwest winds 10 to 15 knots, gusting up to 23 knots as we start the day on Saturday. So we do pick up that yellow risk for some elevated winds at or above 25 knots. And we'll see our low temperature around 33 degrees this evening, which is right about average for this time of year. Tide's running normal at this time, and then we'll see those below average temperatures start to move in as we get into Saturday. Partly cloudy day overall. Could start off mostly cloudy, but overall partly cloudy with breezy conditions. Do have that red risk for winds that are above 25 knots. Again, expecting those peak gusts up in the 28 knot range. As we go through the day on Saturday, we'll see a high just of 41 degrees. With that wind, it's going to feel much chillier than that. As we go into Saturday evening, we'll see partly cloudy to mostly clear conditions, continuing to be slightly breezy, but not expecting a wind advisory criteria, so green conditions. But we will see those wind chill values in the lower teens with our actual low temperature of 19 degrees. And a cold day for Sunday with mostly sunny conditions, slightly breezy. Again, we'll start to see that breeze relax a bit as we move through the day. But nonetheless slightly breezy and cold. Once again, a high of 34 degrees and wind chill values in the upper teens and 20s. So very chilly weekend ahead, but we'll see we'll see conditions drying out as we get past the light rain we see today. That wraps up the 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. Take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.